My content is for 13 and up or adult collectors of the product.
We've got some amazing news for Hasbro's Beyblade Burst Quad Drive. It's finally about to end. Hello everyone, and before we continue with this video, subscribe to the channel with bell notifications on. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about Quad Drive and how we're pretty much wrapping up and very close to being done with everything. So we're going to go over basically all the remainder products. If there's anything else, I give my thoughts. And then after you watch this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What have you thought of Quad Drive? And I'll share more of my thoughts near the end. So starting us off with some of the remainder stuff, we have got the Galaxy Orbit battle set. So we've already actually done a review on this. This is where it comes with the stadium there and the two kind of weird recolors. The recolors aren't too special, and the only real good part in this, it has to be that revolve attachment. So I don't really think it's worth a full price buy. The stadium itself is not that special, and you don't really get any fun battles in it. Obviously, fun is subjective, but for what they usually do, this is one you could pass up on. Though I would hope they put the revolve attachment on the thing I'm going to be mentioning in this video. But yeah, this set's kind of a miss. If you see it, just skip it. Next up, we have the Interstellar Drop Bay Stadium. So this one, we did a review on it. It was kind of more like a demoing in the store, but that's like virtually the same as the review. Now for both the sets, I need to mention this, that there's still no real dates on either of them. Like we've seen the shipment, I've seen the shipment, I think it was for Galaxy Orbit or whatever, but the actual set, nada, nothing yet. There was a pre-order, I'm pretty sure, but then after the date got moved, so it's anyone's guess when that thing actually wants to arrive. But I do have content covering it. The stadium, I think if you're in the US, I think the price is like okay. It's kind of pushing it a bit for the double-decker thing. I remember the bays were pretty tight and whatever, so it's like it's all right. In Canada, I can say this now actually in the video, I think it was 109 Canadian, and now there's like a raise to like, because we did a check, to like 119 CAD. So that's like a lot. $120 for the set. Yeah, I don't think the value's there. But it is from Toys R Us, and Toys R Us marks it up like really crazy. But I mean, basically anything that's in Canada for Beyblade, I have to say that, yeah, definitely not to really have to wait on it. I don't think it's worth the investment. In the US, at least the stadium, you got something going for it, though. Just be mindful, is what I would say. And then after, on to the other stuff. We have got this Nebula battle set. So in this Nebula battle set, it kind of comes with these sort of, not really random recolors, but you know what I mean. Like the recolors aren't necessarily that special, to be quite honest. And my really thing with the stadium is just a reskin. Not even a reskin, it's just a wider version of the first stadium that they did. There's nothing really special about it. Like it's just a big stadium. And the parts too, it kind of whatever, you know. So I don't know if we have the price on this one yet. And when I say, well, we have the price, I mean like in Canada and the US, like really, but I do suspect it will be pretty expensive just knowing how they are. Now, here's where we're gonna be getting into, actually, before I do that one, I need to get to the 2-packs. Okay, so for that one, we're going to go here. So for the 2-packs, this is for Decay Perseus and then After Destruction Balefire. So the only nice thing in this one is that potentially Perseus could have a tight chip, which is what we're hoping for. Rights really need more options than potentially just the only two in the Interstellar drop set. And maybe Nexus plus S Hasbro. Maybe that thing is good for attack. It really just depends how big it is, which doesn't look too big, and how heavy it is. And I think the Battle Cash one is pretty skippable. Like, there's nothing really there. Like, there's drift, but the drift's not even really, like, if it's the same thing as just Speedstorm, there's nothing too crazy there. I've already talked about this, so I don't want to really drag it on too much, so Yeah, the 2-packs are kind of passable. Now, we get into the big news now. The big news in this video, why I even did this. Okay, now it should be you. Not listings. So we checked out the shipment for the stuff, and Glory Ragnar, Ultimate Evil Valtryek, the 2-packs, they are coming. The shipments are coming. This is actually pretty big. Like a huge quantity. This is just like a small sample. It's like a lot that they're sending out. I do suspect because these bays don't actually have release dates, like even if Hasbro puts a date, it's literally just a guessing game. I do think we're probably going to see this before the summer ends, I would think. Either if we see it through, like, finally all the pictures, or, you know, whatever, because you already know Hasbro's Hasbro. And this is where we get to the main event, which is we have slightly more HD pictures for Ultimate Evil Valtryek. Before I get to the Valtryek, I actually want to talk about Ragnar because we're getting to it. So with Ragnar, we know it's going to have over quad drive, which I've done the testing and it's okay. It's comparable to Wheel, which you basically see for almost all the QD discs, but more consistent. It's not really better than Hasbro Tapered. They hollowed it out too much and the underside is not too good. So even for like a QD disc, it's kind of like whatever. We know it's probably, it's got to have Extend Plus Q, which that tip is not really that good, but what I'm hoping, and I mentioned this, is they actually throw in the Revolve attachment. That's the only thing I'm asking for that they need to do. This is their one job. This is Hasbro's one job, because that's literally like the best attachment for quad drive. I'm gonna see if I can just hold it here. So in this shot right here, you're gonna see if this image wants to clear up. It's really good. I would say it arguably has better stamina than Kick. It's very consistent. It's kind of like the closest thing you'd probably get to High Extend Plus Dash for Takara Tomy for Hasbro, so it's decent. Obviously, it's not as wide, but solid nonetheless. Let me move this down. So if they can do that, that's going to be really good, and we can hope it can probably be at least a little bit decent. I'm still very curious on how it's going to look. I obviously know Butchered and not as good as the original Takara Tomy release, but I'm wondering just, you know, what they're gonna do. Hopefully they do justice, because like it is a pretty important release. But once we get to Ultimate Evil, you're gonna see why I'm not really too crazy. So we finally have a more HD image of the box, which I still think is one hell of a fever dream just to look at. And unfortunately, this does confirm the parts on the thing. It says G08, QD11, TS19Q, A04. So even if there's a typo and it has over quad drive, or if it's Karma on the thing, parts are incorrect, and you can even tell visually by the image on the thing. I think it is a little bit unfortunate that the bay, that's entire point is a legacy to respect to all the previous years of the Valtryeks, got to that point, and there's no excusing it. There's no, oh, let's wait for the pro. If you ever hear, let's wait for the Pro Series release, no, just go buy a Takara Tomy release. There's no way that Hasbro's gonna eventually get to DB at the rate that we're. By the time that Hasbro gets the DB Pro Series, we're gonna already be in the 4th generation. Or if you're like, oh, getting it for collectors, listen. There are better things to spend your money on. Obviously, spend your money however you want, but you know what I mean? Like, not too hot on it. And we're gonna go over it. So now we got like a better visual of the thing, which before is a lot lower quality. And visually, you know, it takes all the soul from it, if that makes a lot of sense. Now, if we're gonna try to analyze in a similar way to Guilty even by quad drive standards is not that good of an attacker. You will probably see on my testing channel, I have a lot of QD testings I gotta launch. Guilty, the issue is not that aggressive, not that heavy, and not that consistent. If you go by quad drive only, then I guess. If you go by in general for Hasbro, godforsaken no. And it's probably gonna be the same case here, because not only are you taking away the hardest part that's gonna hit the rubber, but you're also rounding off the important contact points, and it's gonna be hollowed, so not really too excited there. Now, the only thing we can hope is maybe that the core is tight, which, as depressing as that sounds, this is like the only thing the QD has going for it. If they somehow make it the tightest possible core for rights, then maybe with Insane Burst Resistance, we can maybe have QD working pretty good. Now, for my thoughts on Quad Drive in general, for like the super in-depth, it's gonna be a video in October. Hopefully by then all the stuff releases, where it's gonna be a follow-up to my original Rise and Fall video for Hasbro. My general impressions, just like on the system itself, is kind of just like, I don't care. Nothing about it was, at least on the other ones, you could say it had something going for it. This is not really like the tip changes are kind of just whatever. Like, they don't really have any gimmicks, and I can't really get excited. Like, even Hypersphere, say what you want, no gimmicks, whatever. At least it was fun. This is like no fun. They had the opportunity to have unique gimmicks on the thing, and there's nothing too special on the thing. We got maybe at best like kick attachment and revolve attachment, and that's about it. So yeah, you have like this Amazon thing, or I guess online exclusive Sonic Warp, which is like Astral, Guilty, and Roar. And I mean, I guess that's one of the better ones that they've done, but you know what I mean? Like, it's very suspicious that they just keep doing this stuff. Like, it is probably a big conspiracy, but I do think a lot of the stuff that just does not sell, they've made too much of a quantity of, so they probably have to make some sort of exclusive just to get rid of it, because it's a bit silly. I mean, I guess for this, if you don't have somehow those 3 bays, maybe there's value there if you really want QD, but yeah. Anyways, as we are going to be ending off, I want to mention our store where you have a pre-order for Zest Achilles, Hello Kitty, and make sure to support the channel by subscribing and commenting your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and have an awesome and amazing day, and bye.